Welcome to Horror Franchise Wednesday. Let's continue the Fly franchise review series with the third installment called Curse of the Fly. This came out in 1965 and is directed by Don Sharp, and this one was made in the UK instead of Canada, like the first two. And this one is a bore. It was kind of hard to get through. So, this one tells a story about the same family in the first two movies. We got the same family back, and they're somewhat improving on their device. Now they can actually teleport not from one side of the room to the other side of the room, but from London all the way to Canada. So they've improved on this machine of theirs, but there's still some deadly side effects. Not the side effects you're used to. We don't see any flies in this movie. That's weird. It's called Curse of the Fly, but we don't ever see an actual fly head in this movie. That's another thing it's known for, is having no flies. Not even normal flies. You don't hear a fly or anything. It's completely flyless. So I'm not sure why it's called Curse of the Fly. And yeah, this one's terrible. I'm surprised it even managed to slip past the 5 range on IMDb. It has like 5.3, but it has a more reasonable Rotten Tomato score, and that is like 14%. Yeah, this is just not a good movie. The only thing I will give it, the only like I have for this movie, is that it tried something different. It took risks. It was like, let's take these characters we're familiar with and let's kind of make them the villains here. Let's make them bad. They start testing on humans and they like lock them up once they get all infected and deformed. They just throw them away like prisoners. Like, that is not what I expected at all. So that shocked me. It surprised me. So I'll give it that. It tried something different. It took our protagonists from the first couple of movies, the family, and made them villains in this one. So it tries something different. I'll give it that. But that's it. I don't care for this movie at all. Negatives. This movie is freaking boring. Boring as hell. It just about put me to sleep like 3 times. I about nodded off there a couple of times. And yeah, the transfer is not good. It's black and white and it's all gritty and there's like lines that go through it every now and then. And it's very slow. Like I said, it's boring. It's very, very slow. And we got this love interest that's very forced. I guess it makes sense if he just... Does he want her for his experiments, or does he genuinely love her? If he genuinely loves her, it's forced. It feels so forced. Just shoehorned in here. Let's throw in a love interest. I mean, who finds a half-naked woman around the corner from an insane asylum, picks them up, and then marries them a week later? I mean, that is just... Nobody does that anymore. Nobody in this day and age, for the most part, I could be wrong, nobody gets married that quickly. I feel like the average dating period before you get married nowadays is like a year or 2. But back in the day, they were just like, I like you. Let's get married right now. It's just crazy. They get married so quickly. And apparently, if you get married, it doesn't matter that you escaped in a mental institution without them allowing it. Like, oh, you got married? Okay, fuck it. Like, you can live your life now. Like, the writing is very weak in this movie. The characters all suck. They're all dull. I don't like, there's potential here. There's things that they should have explored much more. Like all the prisoners and all that stuff could have been a lot creepier if they just would have utilized them properly. But it has no thrills. It's not scary at all. The makeup on these people is bad. It's very aged. The music is very of the times. The music is just relentless. There's just constant music playing, trying to force you to feel a way they want you to feel, like all the happy music and the intense music. Like, you're supposed to be scared. You're supposed to be happy now. And they're testing humans. That's just stupid. Like, why wouldn't you test on animals? Like, it made sense in the first two. They were testing on animals first, and once they got confident that their machine was starting to work properly, they started testing on themselves, not dragging other people and making them victims. Like, it's just ridiculous. Why are they testing only on humans when they know that 10 out of 10 times it's fucking up? It's not working properly. They're making people into monsters, and now they're monsters themselves. I mean, and the continuity here is awful. It's confusing. I don't get it. Why are these people... Why do they have the same last name, but the first name is different? This is supposed to be Philippe from the second movie and the first one. and now he has a son named Martin. So we got Martin Delambre and Henri. Henri is supposed to be Philippe, right? They even make mention of the other movies, and they show pictures from those movies and refer to the guy in the first movie, the one who turns into a fly. They refer to him as the grandfather, implying that the younger guy here, Martin, he's the grandson. So they're supposed to be related, but why is this guy's name not Philippe? Why is it Henri? Why are they changing names, but only the first name, not the last name? Makes no sense, the continuity. But they have the inspector from part 1 in here. He's got the same name. I looked that up. It's the same name, but different actor. Inspector Charaz or something. I think he would be dead by now. I mean, Jesus Christ, he was old in the first movie, and this is supposed to be like over 40, 50, a lot longer than that. So this guy should be dead if that's the same guy from the first movie. I mean, he would be like 100. It's crazy. And so yeah, it's just a boring fucking movie. Don't watch it. I have nothing else to say here really. The ending is just so like lackluster. It just you think it's about to start, get going and shit, and it's like, nope, it's over. Like, it's just very lackluster, very underwhelming movie, just boring as hell. Do not ever watch this. This is the weakest of the three. So when it comes to Curse of the Fly, I gotta say, this movie is wasted time. Alright, quick spoiler discussion. So this movie opens up with a window being broken open and what seems to be 3D. That's like what they're going for. It has like all this glass going towards the camera, and is it supposed to be 3D? But that's the only 3D shot in the movie. So I don't know. I was just thinking that maybe it was supposed to be 3D the whole movie, but I don't know. But this whole opening credits sequence is a woman half naked running in slow motion, so we get to see her boobs bouncing in slow motion. That's the best part of the movie right there. And, Henri, he has side effects. Or is it Henri? Yeah, Henri and Martin, they're both like aging very rapidly, like a fly. Flies, they only live a few weeks. So if they don't keep injecting themselves with this drug, they're going to age very quickly and turn into a skeleton and die. So they got to keep pumping themselves with drugs, which means that at some point they tested it on themselves also because they're morons. They don't seem to learn their fucking lesson. This family is stupid. For as smart as they are, they know all this science and shit, atoms and molecules, and they went to college. They're pretty fucking stupid. They keep testing this damn machine on themselves. And now in this movie, what's different is instead of standing up in this machine, this teleporter, they have to lay down, and instead of little goggles, they have to wear like these welder's masks. And when they actually use the machine, when they're inside of it, they have to wear goggles also. Otherwise, I guess it's going to fuck up their eyes too. But they didn't in the other movies. In the first two movies, when people were in the machine, Cat or them, didn't matter. They didn't have to wear goggles, but now they do. What changed? I don't know. And so what else we got here? So yeah, he gets married like right away. It's ridiculous. Just sees a half-naked woman running down the street, right around the corner from an insane asylum, picks her up, and at first she's like hiding from him in the woods. She like darts off into the woods. He's like, "Oh, come here, grab my coat. Let's go have a picnic. And hey, I want to marry you. You seem like wife material." It's just fucking ridiculous. And then you got this whole like subplot that's not interesting at all. This woman who's like trying to find out where she went, and then when she finds her, they're just like, "Okay, you got married. I guess there's nothing we can do really." Like, come on. Like they have to like prove they find out that they got married, but then they have to like find out if it's a legit marriage before they can take her away. It's like, I don't think you need any of that. Like, you can skip all that and be like, it doesn't matter if you got married. She still broke out of a place that she's supposed to be at because she's mentally ill. So fuck your little marriage certificate. That's null and void. That's gone. Like, we're taking her back because she's crazy. And when he finds out that she broke out of a mental institution, he doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, whatever. Like, wouldn't you be worried? Like, what was she in for? What did she do? Do they even say in the movie? Maybe I was falling asleep when they said it. And so yeah, he just doesn't care that his new wife could be a psychopath. And then we got Inspector Charaz from the original. He's here. and he's talking about the original movie. He's retelling the events. That we got this whole like recap thing here, where he's like, "This is what happened in part one," in case the audience hasn't watched it yet. But he's saying the events of part one, but then he shows the guy a picture of what happened in part two. He's like, the guy in part one turned into a fly. Here, I got a picture of it somehow. Who the fuck took that picture, A? And B, that's not the same movie that you're referring to. So it's just stupid. That picture does not exist, could not exist. It's ridiculous. So, after all that dumb shit, they have these Chinese maids, and one of them isn't even Chinese. She doesn't look Chinese. I looked her up. She's Welsh. So she's not Chinese, and she's got like this bad wig on, some Chinese haircut, and what she's wearing is like, stereotypical like Chinese, look Japanese. Is that Chinese? Looks like something Japanese people would wear. But she's got, the whole outfit on. She just looks like a stereotype, but she's not Chinese. And their names are Tai and Wan. We got this husband and wife Chinese couple who are maids there, they're servants, and their names are Tai and Wan. Put that together, what's that make? So are they from Taiwan? I thought they were Chinese. Are people from Taiwan Chinese also? Is that what they call themselves? I don't know. I'm not from there. So, anyways, yeah, so they fetch a body, they drop it off in the teleportation room, and they just leave the door wide open, leave the body unsupervised. The guy could wake up at any moment and escape. That's what happens. Dipshits. They went to college? I think not. These people are too dumb. And then this new wife, this crazy lady, she passes out 3 times. 3 times in this movie instantly. When she just sees Tai, or Juan, whatever, Juan. She sees Juan, and then she sees something else, like, it's so theatrical, it's so poorly acted, it's awful. And then the 3rd time made me laugh the hardest. It was so ridiculous, I actually rewound it. I was like, did I just witness that? Did he, like, slap her and I didn't see it? I blinked too long. It's ridiculous. She turns around, sees her father-in-law, and does the same thing. Like, what the fuck is so terrifying about that? Like, he's not after her or anything. Like, why is she so scared? She's ridiculous. It's so stupid. She just keeps passing out. Oh yeah, the 2nd time she passed out, it was actually during her husband telling her finally his intentions with this machine. He's like, we can do this. We can put equipment in there. When a flood strikes and there's chaos over here, we can teleport all the equipment. And meanwhile, she just falls asleep right away, like 5 seconds into his speech. Like, you're boring. This movie is boring. I fell asleep just as much as she did in this. Not really, but like, I was connecting with her the most. I was like, I get it, totally. I want to fall asleep too. And so after all this, how the hell does Inspector Charles know as much as he does? All the shit he's like retelling, and like, you wouldn't know all those details. I doubt it. Okay, so Tai, he hits Judith, the ex-wife. We found out that he also, along with testing this machine out on other people, tested this machine out on his own wife. Yeah, it fucked up these people. Maybe it'll work for you, honey. I guess they were having a rocky relationship, so he was like, let's just get rid of my wife now. And she gets killed by Tai. It would have been better to see her get revenge against her husband or somebody. She deserves better. But she gets hit in like the shoulder with this giant rubber-looking wrench, and that kills her. Just a tap on the shoulder. Jesus Christ. I mean, Jason Voorhees took a machete through his collarbone and everything and got up and started walking the next minute. This chick gets hit with a wrench in the collarbone, and now she's just dead. Ridiculous. So he goes to try to send his father to London, but the guy in London destroyed the machine after axing that one guy to death. Why didn't he say, hey, don't do it, I destroyed it? It would have taken you 2 seconds to be like, don't, I destroyed it! Boom. You see how quick that was? He would have been like, oh shit, I guess I shouldn't hit this button, and because then my father will just poof, gone, nowhere to go. But so now, yeah, Henri, he's gone. He will never to return, disintegrated. And then we find out that Martin, he can't get his shot in, so he just turns into a skeleton. He ages very rapidly, and he's dead. And then the inspector takes the wife, not back to the asylum where she belongs, but just away. And then the credits go over the screen, and it says, "This is the end?" Question mark. Very like House of a Thousand Corpses. This is the end. The end. Question mark. Is it? Is it though? And so yeah. It's like they knew that question would be in the minds of the audience. Like, this is the end? Really? That's how it ends? Wow, that sucks. So that's why they put that there. And, yep, so that's the end of the movie. What are your thoughts on this shitty film? Do you love it? Sorry for offending you, I guess. But, yeah, I did not like it. What did you think about it, though? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like what you've seen here, you can hit this like button and become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.